I'm really sorry that I've kind of abandoned you, but between work and going to the doctor at least 3 times a week, I'm rarely home before 8 in the morning, or before 8 at night. And my mom was up this weekend, and so I have not had a spare moment. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update on what's been going on. Right now it's about cycle day 32, 33. I'm on day 4 of Provera, so obviously this cycle did not cause me to ovulate because I'm having to induce a period with Provera. I went in for a mid-cycle scan after taking 150 milligrams of Clomid, and there wasn't a follicle on my right side, which is where I had a follicle grow on the previous cycle, and my left ovary is really shy. It was kind of in the shadows, but they weren't able to see anything. I never got a positive OPK, and right before taking the Provera, I had a negative pregnancy test. So obviously this cycle was a giant failure. I talked to my doctor, and since the Clomid is not really working for me, it did that one time, but it's not really consistently working for me. She wanted to try something else. She suggested injectables, and I suggested Provera, and she's going to let me try Provera before I move on to injectables. Most of you know Provera is similar to Clomid. The chemical mechanism is different, but it's 5 pills. You take 1 pill a day for cycle days 3 through 7, that kind of thing, just like Clomid. So hopefully that works for me. I'll let you guys know, because I know not a lot of people have taken the Provera, but a lot of people kind of have heard of it. So usually Provera is kind of the pit stop after Clomid and before injectables, just because we're scared of needles. Also, injectables are a lot more expensive, so we're going to give the Provera a shot because it's not going to hurt anything. So next cycle, as soon as I start my period, I'll call the clinic and they'll call in a prescription of Provera. My doctor hasn't decided yet what dosage she wants to start me on. Just like Clomid, there's different dosages available, and since the highest dose of Clomid didn't really work for me, she doesn't know if she wants to start me on the lowest dose of Provera. So she just needed to think about that some more, and so when I start my period, I'll call and she'll let me know what she's decided. I'm also probably going to have an MRI done this cycle. I told you guys that I had an HSG done. My tubes were totally clear, no problems, but they noticed an arcuate at the top of my uterus. So what an arcuate is, it's just a slight deviation in the overall shape of your uterus. Usually the top of your uterus is rounded this way, and mine was slightly dipped in. It wasn't to the point like where it was a bicornate uterus or anything like that. It is an acceptable variation, but she wants to have an MRI done just to take a better look at it. So that's fine. My mom has had an MRI done, and I talked to her about it, and I think we've all seen it in different medical shows. She said that it can be like kind of claustrophobic, but that it's not painful or anything like that. And the place where I'm having it done, they let you bring your own music, so it should be fine. So that is the game plan for this upcoming cycle. I am rapidly approaching my 1 year of trying to conceive anniversary, which is kind of sad. Speaking of that, there's a girl. I'm going to put your name right here because I'm on the road and I forgot to write it down before I left. But she sent me a message saying that she's a newbie, and she just kind of wants to know how I approached infertility treatments, how I was diagnosed, how I was prescribed Clomid, just kind of like a quick and dirty of my journey. So I'm going to recap it again for you guys. In 2002, I went to an internist because I had recurrent bladder infections. I have since I was born, practically. He thought that I might have PCOS. And at the time, that just explained why I had irregular periods. He said that if I wanted to get my periods more regular, I could get on birth control. But at the time, I was a 3-sport athlete. I did volleyball, rugby, and cheerleading, and I also played tennis a lot. So really, who wants to be on their period when they have a sports competition 3 times a week? So every 3-4 months was fine by me. Later, when I did get on birth control, I noticed that my weight was a lot more manageable, and that my collection was fabulous. But other than that, I didn't really notice any other changes. My husband and I got married August 24th, 2008, and we went on our honeymoon to Mexico the end of September. When we got back on October 2nd, I stopped using birth control and haven't used it since, and that's when we started trying to conceive. My first cycle was 50 days long, and my second cycle, once it hit the 50-day mark, I called my doctor. She ended it with Provera because I knew that this was the same routine I was getting into, and I can't conceive if I'm not having a regular period. So I asked if she would do an ultrasound to look at my ovaries because, I remember going to the library and picking up a book about PCOS, and remembering what the doctor had said, but not really connecting all the dots. And as I'm reading this book, I'm like, that's me, I don't have that one, that's me. And really, the book was like written about me, basically. So, when I went to the doctor, I thought that I might have PCOS, and I thought that might be the reason, but it wasn't until I got the results back from my ultrasound and blood work that I did have PCOS.